We're going to talk about Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's set to visit the White House and address Congress today.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is on his way there right now. It's his first foreign trip since Russia invaded Ukraine almost a year ago. This was back in February.
Before leaving for the U.S., Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made a surprise visit Tuesday with soldiers in the frontline city of Bakhmut. Troops handed him a Ukrainian flag and alluded to it being delivered to American leaders. The visit comes as lawmakers are preparing to pass a federal spending plan that includes about $40 billion in direct aid to Ukraine, and that he plans to provide Ukraine with training in the use of Patriot missiles, an advanced system capable of shooting down aircraft and ballistic missiles.
The funniest part about this is like Russia gonna learn today why Americans don't have healthcare meme is so real. It is the most real joke that's not really a joke out there. I swear to God, we are never getting any amenities. Okay, it's just not happening. Like, I don't know what the best solution to Ukraine is. I don't know how, like, to what extent should our help comprise of, like, what should we be doing? But we've given billions, like almost $100 billion worth of arsenal, and that doesn't seem like it's gonna stop, because the war is not gonna stop. But hey, you know, we had already bought those weapons, you know what I mean? We'd already paid for those weapons. They got to go somewhere. The MIC needs to make money.
It's been 300 days since Russia began its invasion of Ukraine, and relentless bombings have plunged much of the country into darkness.
He needs to hear from American lawmakers, but American people, American government.
The military-industrial complex is so powerful that, like, motherfuckers that work for it are on TV every goddamn day telling you, like, we have to spend another $100 billion on making new weapons and then giving it away. Like, we have to. There is no instance where, like, this is happening for, like, healthcare in a similar vein. And that is not an accident. That is just by design.
American people are prepared to have us stand up to bullies, stand up for freedom. That's who we are as Americans.
We've never done that.
That's what we've done.
My favorite is when a Republican's like, all this money to Ukraine, we could have finished the border wall. What are you going to do with the border wall, bro? Boof it? You going to sit on the border wall? Fuck the border wall, motherfucker. I want health care, bitch. I want student loan debt relief. What the is wrong with you dummies, dude? I want trains, motherfucker. I want, like, better logistics.
With our allies and partners to
better infrastructure.
To help Ukraine make emergency repairs, and the light will remain and prevail over the darkness. Thank you for being here, Mr. President. We're going to stand with you.
Vladimir Putin is the worst motherfucker on the planet for this. If you want to get mad, a lot of you get mad at, like, fucking Zelensky or whatever, some leftists will. But the main fucking person, the reason why you have to fucking watch, like, American dollars get funneled into Ukraine with weapons that are untraceable is Vladimir Putin. That's the real reason, motherfucker.
People of America, people
straight
who
up
do so much for Ukraine. I am thankful for all of this. I am grateful.
I love motherfuckers still be like, oh, it's because of NATO cornering Russia. There was no fucking reason, dude. Shut the fuck up. Like, I agree with NATO cornering Russia. Okay, that is a real thing that was happening. But that's fucking, the response is insane. Like, Russia's response is what? To galvanize NATO? Legitimize their position? Good job. Very cool. There is no leftist position on Russia. If you are defending Russia in any meaningful capacity, you are not a leftist. Like, you're just not. Yeah, you're right. NATO does corner Russia. So I'm glad that fucking Russia gave them good reason for that. In the eyes of the entire fucking planet. That was really cool when they did that. They're not even fucking tankies. The people that support Russia are just dinguses.
That will strengthen our air defense significantly. This is a very important step to
there is no, like, ML position on Russia. You're just, like, anti-America, I guess, which is fine. I am too.
We would be able to deprive the
you're so anti-America that you're, like, pro-Russia. That's weird.
A
chatter that asks, what's your proposal to end NATO expansionism? It's over. It's done. If you have any kind of ideas, if you have any kind of belief system that NATO's expansionism is going to end in any meaningful capacity, you're out of your mind. It's done. It's a wrap. And it's literally Vladimir Putin's fault.
And the United States
what else are they going to expand
help
to, bro?
us to defend our values and independence. Everything.
People are so funny when they say, why doesn't the CIA execute Vladimir Putin? Why? Why would the American State Department destroy their greatest gift giver? Vladimir Putin is literally the absolute greatest gift to the United States of America, dude. They're sitting around counting their fucking dollar bills going, oh, thank God, dude. Oh, my God, it's so sick. It's so fucking good that he's doing this. Oh, it's so fucking good. The NATO position now is so strengthened that it's not even a position. It's just That's it.
Putin thought he would weaken NATO. Instead, he strengthened NATO. I once said
That's
to
right.
him that we talk about he wanted to see the Europe end up being divided. And instead, what did he do? He produced a more united Europe with Sweden and Finland joining.
It's so funny because it's a double whammy. Like, he overextended in a way that also made it very obvious to every fucking country, the remaining countries of the Baltic, that, like, they don't need to be afraid of Russian ground invasion either. That was the funniest way to fucking go into all-out war. Because, like, it was over. Oh, they were like, oh my God, they can't even fucking invade Ukraine. It's done. Of course we'll join NATO. Not afraid. Dog, hundreds of thousands of people have died. Dude, Russia has shown that they are completely incapable of overtaking Ukraine, which I already had said was going to be impossible regardless of how much help they were getting from fucking NATO.
Their children. I think that is the main thing what I can wish you. And of course, to be together with us, jointly, because we really fight for our common victory against this tyranny, and we will win. And I really want win together. Thanks so much. Not want, sorry, I'm sure.
This war made every leftist into a NATO stand. I mean, fuck NATO. And those people were not real fucking anti-imperialists ever. If pushed on their position, they will openly admit that they do not want a multipolar world, that they are fine with American hegemonic imperialist power. Understandable position, because they do live in the imperial core. They are a part of the labor aristocracy that makes the fucking entire thing turn. They want to keep getting their nice clothes. They want to keep eating McDonald's. So it's not going to happen. Someone in the chat said, do we want multipolar? Last time we had multipolar, we had World War II. Yeah, we also didn't have nuclear weapons, though. We did not have fucking governments with mutually assured destruction arsenal. So there's that reality as well.
What we talked about today was we're going to continue to help Ukraine succeed on the battlefield. It can succeed in the battlefield with our help and the help of our European allies and others. So that if and when President Zelensky is ready to talk with the Russians, he will be able to succeed as well, because he will have won on the battlefield. And, you know, I don't think we should underestimate the impact this war is having on Russia.
Saying we need to fucking win battles in the battlefield specifically to get leverage in peace negotiations is the first time that America is having a good fucking take on the conversation. If I was an idiot, I would believe the sincerity of that, but I'm not an idiot. I don't believe that they're being sincere, but that is true. That's a good fucking take. Of course, I recall a time when I used to have that take and motherfuckers would say, you're a Putin sympathizer for having that take. No, that has not always been their take. That is fucking insane to claim.
What was the second part of your question?
I just asked if you had discussed how the U.S. calculated the escalatory effect of sending a Patriot missile battery to Ukraine.
I did not discuss that at all with the president, but we do not. It's a defensive system. It's a defensive weapon system. It's not escalatory. It's defensive, and it's easy to not. And we'd love to not have to have them use it. Just stop the attacks.
Good take, but also pretty funny.
Again, welcome.
It's like, that's why we call it the Defense Department, Jack.
You wanted to make
it's
this
not
trip,
called the Offense Department.
For a while now. Why now? And also, can you tell me what you think the message you are sending to President Putin is, given the fact that 24 hours ago you were on the ground in the front lines with artillery echoing behind you?
This motherfucker Ludwig thinks he can go to Arizona University and get a journalism degree, and then they'll send him into the White House, dude. I swear to God. Crazy to me, okay? What the fuck do you know about Patriot missiles, Ludwig? Sit the fuck down.
This is a historic moment.
Chess box
I
Putin,
can
you
send
coward. I
messages
feel like
to
Putin's good at
President
chess,
Biden.
isn't he?
For example, if it's not serious, you said, what's going to happen after Patriots are installed? After that, we will send another signal to President Biden that we would like to get more Patriots.
That is our life. We are in war. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That is my appreciation.
Russia, we were going to halt the attack and admit invading was wrong until Zelensky visited the USA. Now we vow unlimited spending. First of all, Russia was never going to admit invading was wrong. Russia wouldn't even admit that they were invading. For Russia to admit that the invading was wrong, which is a laughable concept, not happening, they would first have to admit that they're invading and not claim that it's a fucking special operation, which they have gotten their shit pushed in so fucking adequately in the Eastern Front, where they thought that they would definitely fucking destroy, that even back in Russia, right-wing media outlets are like, bro, they're fucking us up. They're fucking our shit up.
When the full-scale invasion started, U.S. officials said that Ukraine cannot receive Patriots because, as you said, it might be unnecessary escalation. And now it is happening. And now Ukraine desperately needs more capabilities, including long-range missiles, ATACMS. Maybe I sound naive, but can we make a long story short and give Ukraine all capabilities it needs and liberate all territories rather sooner than later? Thank you.
Well,
What the fuck?
Yes.
I agree.
Let me be straightforward.
Bro, what a weird world we live in. Like, they're like, yo, can we give Ukraine nukes? Everybody's like laughing about it. It's wild.
The fact is that it's important to remember that before Russia invaded, we dedicated an enormous amount of security assistance to Ukraine. And the idea that we would give Ukraine material that is fundamentally different than is already going there would have a prospect of breaking up NATO and breaking up the European Union and the rest of the world.
Yeah, dude, your fucking military protection racket was gonna break up if you gave them too many weapons. Like, that's bullshit, dude. Guys, half the reason for the fucking slow churn of weapons that are being drip fed into Ukraine is because that's how you fucking maximize the output. Yeah, part of the reason, obviously, because they don't want to have fucking nuclear war, right? If they like fed Ukraine too many weapons from the jump and then, you know, escalated tensions with Russia, all of a sudden that's a very different conversation. But the reality is that you know, you got to drip feed it. That way you can continue the war for as long as possible and maximize profits. The quicker you start considering the American government, the federal government, as just a mouthpiece for mega corporations, specifically within the military industrial complex, the easier it is for you to understand what the fuck's going on. If you give Ukraine more weapons up front, and by the way, it's the same principle, like same principle between like Article 5, invoking Article 5. Like, Ukraine has wanted Article 5 since day one. Obviously, it was never going to happen because, like, if there's World War III, if there's nuclear holocaust, then you can't sell weapons anymore. You know, that's it. You can't have a no-fly zone over Ukraine because that means nuclear holocaust. If nuclear holocaust happens, because two nations with massive nuclear arms are never going to go to war any longer, two states are not going to fight one another openly. They only can do proxy wars. Once you fucking do the nuke shit, it's done. It's over. Unfortunately, you can't sell more weapons. So it's infinitely better to just like keep throwing more Ukrainians at the problem and then have Russia throw more Russians at the problem on their side, and we just keep fucking arming them. And the way that works is if we give them like a little bit, drip feed it over a longer period of time, the war continues and you can justify larger, fatter spending, fatter military budgets. And then, oops, look at that, our arsenal is depleted. We have to now spend more taxpayer dollars in making sure that we have weapons for ourselves. Oops, we gave them HIMARS. We got to make them again. You're going to get called a tanky or a conspiracy theorist for this from pro-NATO leftists. They're not leftists then, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Bro, you can't be a fucking leftist and claim to be anti-imperialist while simultaneously thinking that, like, America is not trying to increase the military industrial complex's profit margins. I'm sorry. You can literally openly admit that, by the way. You can openly admit that, like, you know, we should give guns to Ukraine because, like, they deserve the right to emancipation. But also simultaneously, if you want to think that, that's fine. But you can also simultaneously recognize that it's, like, incredibly profitable for us, and it's not being done out of, like, some kind of kindness. What happens to all the guns after the war is over? Oh, dude, don't ask me about that question. Those guns will absolutely end up in European streets. If you don't think that that is the case, I don't know what to tell you. Europe is about to get very interesting. If you give Ukraine to Russia, he attacks next Moldova and after Georgia. Wait, what? No, I never said give Ukraine to Russia, man. What are you, crazy? He ain't taking Ukraine, bro. What the fuck? He could barely fucking hold on to like Eastern territories. Okay, also Moldova is pretty funny. Yeah, oh no. Listen, bro, listen. Georgia is different because like they're far enough from Europe that like people don't give a shit. But if we're gonna be talking about Ukraine, when are they taking Ukraine? How are they taking Ukraine? With what weapons? What's going on? It's funny to you, disgusting. Shut up, Moldova Mama Liga. You should be excited at the fucking Moldovan mention, okay? Go ride your fucking battalion of cows into war, okay? Of course he's back. He never left. Moldova Mama Liga is one of my favorite chatters consistently throughout this entire process. The man's been anti-Russian from the jump. Oh, you left? Really? Why'd you leave? What happened? To America. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Why'd they leave? They let your ass into this goddamn country, bro. What the fuck? We really need to be building a border wall, homie. That is fucked up. Bro, the Russian military cannot withstand any amount of atrophy. I don't even know if they could take over Moldova if they wanted to. I'm gonna be honest. Those motherfuckers will be sitting on top of cows with like fucking man pads that they got from NATO, that they literally just got from Ukraine, actually, and still be able to probably put up a fucking fight at this point. God damn, dude. All right, let's get back to Ukrainians.
But neither leader seemed to believe a sudden ceasefire is likely. Before traveling to the U.S., Zelensky visited the front lines in the embattled city of Bakhmut, where soldiers signed a flag he presented to members of Congress.
This flag is a symbol of our victory. In this war, we stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
Is it wrong to agree with Republicans here that we shouldn't be spending any money? That's crazy. The fuck do you mean? Not all of this is fucking defense spending. There's like money in there for salmon and shit. There's money in there for U.S. government employees. People always look at the defense spending side of it and go, oh, dude, that's like crazy. I can't believe we're doing that. You're ridiculous if you think that this is not incredibly significant spending. It's an insane increase in defense spending. Come on. Of course it is. Dude, that's the only industry we have, brother. Also, Zelensky made a joke and, earlier today, apparently. I mean, he's a comedian, like I said. This better be good, bro. If this shit doesn't make me laugh, we're cutting the tap. We're cutting the faucet off. We're cutting it off! Let's take a look. Let's see if it made me laugh out loud or not.
Два одесита, два одеських єврея, і вони зустрічаються, один іншому каже, що, говорить, ну що.
Two Jewish men from Odessa meet. One asks another, so how is the situation? What's the talk about town? They say it's a war. What sort of war?
Росія воює з НАТО. Тут серйозно? Да,
For real? Yeah, it's a war. Russia is at war with NATO. So how is it?
Росіяни що, 70 тисяч військових загинуло.
Well, on the Russian side, 70,000 soldiers died. They used up almost all the rockets.
Багато техніки
Lots of equipment is broken or burnt.
Ось така ситуація. Говорить, а що НАТО?
This is the situation. What about NATO?
НАТО ще не під'їхало.
NATO hasn't arrived yet. That's not good enough. I need more, Zelensky.